Euphoria is a show about a group of high schoolers who all deal with their own issues, from drug addiction to partying and questionable relationships. The show centers around our main character, Rue, played by Zendaya, a 17-year-old in active addiction who has already overdosed, gone through rehab, and relapsed. In the first season and early on, we are introduced to Rue, who has been dealing with mental health issues like OCD, ADHD, and anxiety. This led to Rue needing to be medicated from a young age. The show hints at this being the reason for her needing an escape, which she eventually takes into her own hands. The first episode of Euphoria is attention-grabbing. We have music that is catchy from the artist Labrinth, and a flashy scene presented to us within the first few minutes of the pilot episode. This gives us a taste of what the show has to offer. We also see some chaos unfold early on, giving the viewer an idea of what to expect from the show, kind of like a warning label. The entire Euphoria album is on point for what we see in the show. Music is so important in shows and movies, and having Labrinth produce the music made the entire thing come alive. The songs are catchy, but also have a lot of emotion, which allows us to feel and have deeper understanding of what is being portrayed in each episode and scene. While it may be triggering to some viewers, the show gives an idea of what addiction is like and the reality of it. The sneaking around, lying, the random drug test that she knows she will fail, to gaslighting her family about her sobriety, and lying about her NA meetings, all leading to a never-ending cycle of relapse and sobriety. While yes, this can be negative, and it is negative, I feel like it kind of brings light to the struggles of addiction, and the writers of Euphoria capture this constant turmoil really well. We watch Rue lose herself in addiction, causing ruined friendships and relationships, and putting herself into very questionable and dangerous situations. We also see Rue grow into herself, and also lose herself throughout the course of the show. We see the bonds that are created when she is in recovery, and the damage that it does when she is not. The topics in the show are heavy, and whether it was the producer's intentions or not, it brings light to the actual problem high schoolers are facing with drug abuse. The producers did a good job of adding some cushion to these serious topics by adding scenes that are attention-grabbing and highly entertaining. This makes it easier to get sucked into each episode, and inevitably you will want to binge watch and see the drama unfold at all levels amongst the characters. Director Levinson has thought outside the box with a lot of the scenes. Some of the most interesting scenes in the show give an idea of what it's like to be under the influence of certain drugs, and gives us a look inside the distorted reality that the characters are experiencing. In my opinion, the show accurately depicts the teen experience in today's world, from the parties to the petty nature of some of the characters and how their relationships implode while others bloom, to the confusing access that social media has and leaked news, to the identity crises I think we all have experienced in high school. We really get to see what growing up in today's world is like. However, the show feels like it may be guided towards teenage viewers. This is far from the cushy shows we see on Disney. This show is no doubt for an adult audience. There is nothing that's off limits. Some episodes are violent, intense, and borderline pornographic, so viewer discretion is advised. To the wrong audience, the show may seem to glorify drugs, underage drinking, and could possibly romanticize staying in abusive relationships. On the flip side, we can also argue that it brings possible awareness to addiction and why we should avoid recreational use of prescription drugs alongside other substances. We get to watch Rue spiral through the shame and depression that comes along with her addiction, and we watch her struggle to maintain the facade that she is sober. The show not only highlights the struggles of drug abuse, but it also has many woke factors to it as well. This leads us to Rue's new best friend, Jules, played by Hunter Schafer. Jules is new to town and has already caught herself in a few sticky situations. Within the first episode, she is meeting up with an older man for sex and lies about her age. This is one of the many examples of abuse and power dynamics in the show. The show has a good way of being inclusive as well. As you watch, you see many ways that Levinson has included LGBTQ factors into the show. Jules is one of our main focal points for this, seeing as she is transgender. We get to see how this impacts her daily life and her feelings towards herself, and how she is treated by others in the high school setting. One factor that really sold the show to me is the fact that each actor really embodies their characters. In my opinion, the casting directors made really good choices for the cast. While watching the show, I was fully convinced that Zendaya was an addict. Now, obviously, I know she isn't, but the mannerisms she was able to portray and the nature of her acting really sold it. I'm not alone in this opinion either. Zendaya's performance has been nominated and won many awards for her performances. A few of the awards she has taken home are Outstanding Actress, Drama Series 2020 and 2023. The show itself has won Most Visually Striking in 2022, and director Sam Levinson won Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Drama Series 2023. Along with her acting, Zendaya can be found singing in a lot of the songs that are on the show. Labyrinth and Zendaya have been nominated for many music awards and have taken home a few wins as well, like Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics 2020 and Best Original Song in the TV show / limited series 2021 for their song All For Us. Over the course of the show, there are quite a few scenes that bring it back a notch and help us remember that these are teenagers after all. And though their experiences may be unethical, they are still dealing with normal high school stuff. We get to see a good mix of drama, but also mundane scenes and young love, nervous crushes, and the journey through some characters where they find themselves. Though the show is a whirlwind of emotions, it does bring a lot of dark parts of being a teenager to light. I'm sure to a certain degree there is something in the show that we can all relate to. It helps us remember that being a teenager can be brutal, blissfully naive, and reminds us how easy it is to make questionable decisions regardless of our age. If you're looking for a show that is entertaining, a bit controversial, raw and unkept, then I would definitely recommend checking out Euphoria. It is guaranteed to suck you in and keep you on your toes as long as you're prepared for a wild ride, and maybe a little heartbreak.